Hello and welcome to another week of Obscura Undead Reviews. This week we are reviewing a solo project from someone who you may know, and that is, we'll get to all the deets, and that is Voyna with their debut album, The Cinvat Bridge. I'm Azzy.
I'm Mouse.
And we're going to tell you all about it. So this band, Voyna, is the solo project of Peer Lebrecht, who is the singer for Golden Apes, who, if you haven't ever heard of Golden Apes, go look them up. Their last album, Kazbek, fabulous.
And I think we reviewed that.
I believe we did. Yeah.
Maybe? 19 maybe?
2019?
Might be.
I don't know.
What is time?
I've kind of lost a year, and then we lost an hour. But I just want to read a little bit from the press release for this album of fires, veils, and the things between. There are always rumors when a member of an established band decides to walk the solo path. Creative differences, interpersonal frictions, finalization, or just artistic role-playing. In the case of Voyna, side project of Peer Lebrecht, singer and creative director of the Berlin-based post-punk darkwave outfit Golden Apes, it might be not differently. But then the press release goes on to say that Voyna the idea for the band was already born while Golden Apes was in the studio recording their album Kazbek. And it seems clear that it was neither intentional to be an artistic escape route nor a break with the musical past, rather an additional creative outlet, a sonic self-portrait. And there's a lot going on this album. It's 14 tracks, and we're not going to cover them one by one like we usually do because the album is so long and we don't want to be here for forever, because we could talk endlessly. But there are definitely some tracks that we want to hit.
So Voyna, his voice is striking and deep and beautiful and carries this entire album.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing by making the songs vocal centric. I feel like the songs are written just to be a side, like a side piece to the vocals.
Right, because Peer Lebrecht has a very distinctive voice, and when you first listen to Voyna, you might think, why isn't this just Golden Apes? But when you start getting through the album, you start hearing why on a number of tracks. The one that I most in particular want to talk about, and we're probably going to end up flipping a little bit all around here, but I want to talk about The Fractal King. This is track 7 out of 14. And it's just got this really cool jazzy sound to it.
It has a relaxed, jazzy, druggy groove to it. Like you can hear the I was trying to describe it. It's like the jazzy drums, there's like this little like flat drum thing they do just for a chill sound. That's going on throughout the album. It also like reminded me of like, one of those storytelling bits about like, an old legend or something that you would hear Nick Cave sing about.
Like Nick Cave, or maybe even listening to like a Tom Waits album. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. And we've reviewed albums by storytellers before, and this song evokes a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. And even though across the entire album there's maybe one track that's more energetic, the rest of it just sort of wraps around you.
Which was the energetic one? It was Zernikov.
Huh?
Zernikov,
yep. The one track that doesn't have vocals.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Did not notice that.
Yeah.
So it was more of like an energetic guitar jam.
Yeah.
I did not notice there was no vocals. I'll be honest, a lot of these songs flowed into one another so that when one song changed, I wasn't aware that it had changed.
Or in a single song, you might think, wait, are we going into another song because they have so many dips across certain tracks that you aren't quite sure?
Both the tracks Provenance and Clean took breaks in the middle, unusually timed breaks. The song would just stop completely.
It wouldn't stop. It would just slow down a lot. It would pull back.
It was a dead stop. It was like a rolling through a stop sign. Stop. and then his voice would come wafting in, and you're like, oh, I'm listening to the same song. But that was just a stylistic choice, with it stopping and starting and stopping and starting. That was a little jarring for me, because the album itself is like this smooth journey, where you're like floating or like transcending or, in a drug-induced coma. It's very relaxing and smooth. And so when songs just like stop, then my brain starts to get overworked. And that was just something that I noticed for myself. Everybody else may not feel that way.
Yeah, because I know that I have very different feelings on tracks that do that. If it's something that's really energetic and you get a dead stop, then I'm like, whoa. But with something like this where it's more enveloping, that stop kind of feels like a space to sort of breathe, like, and then it keeps going.
Okay. I really liked track 2. It was called Refraction. There's dual vocals, so it's his voice always throughout, and during the chorus, like you'd hear like his alternating vocal. I thought that was really cool, and that kind of added to the mellow, like it's like this indie rock atmosphere, and the dual vocals or harmonizing vocals always clinches it for me. A couple of the tracks did that I enjoyed.
Right.
And but let me just clarify. When I say indie rock, I'm not trying to say that's anything bad. Like there's modern like post-punk that leans that way, like Actors and Boot Blacks, and this is in that vein. It's still very like dark and intrinsic, and it's not it's not supposed to be a bad feeling of indie rock, not like mainstream.
I wouldn't have necessarily called it indie rock. I think I would have gone a bit more generally and just said alternative rock.
Same thing to me.
Oh, I think they're different.
It's the same thing to me. And I just noticed one of the tags that they used was indie rock. So maybe they identify themselves as such. Yeah.
But there are definite peaks and valleys on this album. Track 4 was another peak, The Sky and a Grain.
Oh, yes.
Which was bouncy. Like it was I don't know how to describe it. It was very much not bouncy so much. It's just like it was more up here, like than instead of like the rest of the track.
It was upbeat and playful.
Mood. It had a more joyful mood.
Actually, I think in one of their liner notes somewhere, they self-described that song as joyful buoyancy. So yes, you can actually like just feel the lightness of that particular track, and most of the other songs are like, some of them are bleak and some of them are like washy, and then you have this song, The Sky and a Grain, and it's just like you're above the clouds in that one.
Yeah, when this track first came on, the first time I listened to the album, I was like, oh, well, this is different. This is nice. This is interesting. And then I was thinking, well, where else is the album gonna go? Am I gonna get more like that? And not really, but in a good way. You know what I mean? Like the album in 14 tracks went so many different places.
It did. A lot of them are very slow and moody. Sometimes it's just his voice for like a couple of verses, and then the chorus does something. And then you have tracks like track 9, Ocean, which pulled in a female vocal. You want to tell us about that female vocal?
Yes, so that is Marita Volodina, who she is from a Polish band that used to go by the name of Minuar, but they had to change their name for legal reasons, and they changed to Stridulum, I'm not entirely sure when that change happened, but she has a very beautiful voice that suits this music perfectly, which honestly I'm not entirely surprised considering that Stridulum is kind of like a cold wave band with more electronic elements.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I did like her female vocal in the background of this song, Ocean, and we were listening to it together in a live stream and noted how, like, at least in the beginning of the song, there were some drums that were like, Disintegration era Cure.
Oh, yeah. But I just want to comment that I wouldn't necessarily characterize Marita's vocals as just backing vocals. I think that, what her and Peer Lebrecht were doing was a full-on duet.
All I can hear is his voice is so thick and so heavy. I was honed in on his voice, and her sounded like backing to me.
I guess it doesn't necessarily help too that I think both you and I are more inclined towards deeper vocals, just generally speaking.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's definitely some like listener bias.
I know, but I love it. I love the deep vocals. The second I hear like just deep, dreamy vocals, I'm just like, take my money, sold.
Yeah.
But it is still very well done. There's a lot of beautiful ballads on this album, especially near the end.
Right. Golem and Ashes just, they kind of waft you out.
But even the two before that, For the Flames and You, and For Her Eyes. So those last 4 tracks is, ballady. It's like Golden Apes. And then like For Her Eyes starts off really slow. And then it has like this uplifting indie vibe. And I was just really digging it. It has good swell. Ashes was kind of long. It was like 6 minutes.
Yeah, it's the next track on the album.
It was just
like I feel so stereotypical whenever we review albums like this. When I want to say it's very transporting, because really that's just a buzzword, but this album really does make you feel that way. A lot of it is just you start listening to it and you just start feeling it, and when, at least for me, when I came away from it, I more felt the emotions of the song rather than being able to say, oh, the guitar was doing this, the drums were doing this, such and such was doing this, because
I noticed
it's not that those elements weren't distinct. I just kept feeling like they were such a cohesive emotional whole that because I was feeling it so much, it made it hard to pick them out to actually review them.
I agree. Like in an album like this, the biggest thing about it is the mood that it puts you in, each track, and how it makes you feel. And some albums, when we review them, that's the dominant factor, and that's what we can describe. Others, we can pick apart the lyrics and give you
the
stories.
Lyrics or the guitar work, or
yeah, you're right. The instrumentation isn't something that I would have used as part of a review. The mood and the emotions behind this are mostly what carry the songs.
Right. I mean, and it makes sense. I mean, I'm so unsurprised just how emotional and moody and steeped in all of those elements this album is. Even just given the name of the band, Voyna, is Russian for war.
Voyna, yes.
And Mouse, I think you had some information on what the Cinvat Bridge is.
Yeah. It's spelled a little bit differently, but the Cinvat Bridge is from Zoroastrianism, a sifting bridge which separates the world of the living and the dead. All souls must cross it, and there's your dogs, your two four-eyed dogs, which is very similar to other mythology that we know about, but that bridge that separates the living and the dead. So I'm pretty sure that they're referencing that bridge.
I mean, given the tone and what we know about all of the mythology steeped in Golden Apes, completely unsurprising.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I wish I could give a more detailed music theory kind of style review and not just talk about this album gave me the.
If we could ever get our hands on like lyric sheets,
I would
after
love
an album comes
lyrics.
out, we can go back through an album and probably stream it and just do a whole like lyrical breakdown review.
Oh, that would be so much fun. We should.
That would be.
That once
I'd be like, this song is about death, and you'd be like, no, this song is about living.
No, let's look at these three words together, and this builds upon the whole
song
entire mythology for the
clearly-
album.
Clearly, because he had a bad day. We're like, no. That would be fun.
But I do strongly recommend this album to anyone who, first off, is a fan of Golden Apes, and second off, just really likes their music to not necessarily, kind of kowtow to dance floor hits, but, take you away to, someplace beyond the veil
Transcendent. It is super chill, so prepare yourself for a very moody ride. Chill.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just keep thinking about how I want to go back and listen to the album. I might put it on as I fall
Let's
asleep.
go do it. We always do, don't we? Don't we just jump right back into it after we review it?
Yeah, usually. But this album, I think I'm going to put it on as I fall asleep, and I'm going to just take it in.
Exactly. It's like a warm cup of tea.
Very spooky tea.
Tension relieving tea.
Yeah.
What's your favorite track?
My favorite track was, honestly, it was The Fractal King. I love that jazzy vibe.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I'd say that mine was probably Refraction. That's track 2.
Yeah.
No. I'll say The Sky and the Grain. That was the bouncy one.
Yeah. Okay, that's actually exactly what I expected you to say for favorite track. Yeah. So that is Voyna, the Cinvat Bridge. This review is a little bit different. So go listen to the album. You'll understand why.
Yeah, you have to listen to it to understand what on earth we're talking
All
about.
70 minutes of it.
70? Oh.
It doesn't feel that long, but it is. So you'll have to go listen to the album and come back and tell us what you think of it. Because, it absolutely deserves it. Listen to it start to end. There's no one track, really, that you can kind of start with and then work your way around it. Just listen to the entire thing.
Yep. And last 4 tracks, do them all in a row. Don't stop.
Yeah.
It's a package deal.
Mouse and I haven't picked what we're going to review for next week yet. So we can't give you a heads up, unfortunately.
I do have a suggestion.
What's that?
Let me type it in here and see if you want
Okay.
to do it.
So while you're typing, when does that release, Mouse?
March 26th.
March 26th. All right, next week we're going to be reviewing the collaborative album between Kill Shelter and Antipole. What is that called? A Haunted Place?
A Haunted Place. More deep, melty vocals. I'm sorry, I had to slip that in there.
Wait, is that being what label is that being released on?
On Manic Depression Records.
On Manic Depression. Okay, I was going to say, because they're not on Icy Cold. Voyna released on Icy Cold.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
This is Manic Depression. Okay.
Different label.
Different label.
Very similar.
I'm really looking forward to that album. Pete Burns of Kill Shelter and Carl Mortendahl of Antipole. Amazing producers, amazing composers. They're just really talented. They collaborate with a ton of other people to have 2 collaborators collaborating
on an entire album, not just one song.
Not just one song, an entire album.
Anyway,
So-
we could do the rest of the talking next week.
Oh yeah, sorry. We'll gush about it next week. Let's see. I actually have I have 2 pieces of mail that I guess I can share that was sent to Obscura Undead. And
You've got mail.
Huh?
You've got mail.
Yes, this first one is square. I imagine it is a CD. I'm not going to show you the front because my address is on it.
What's funny is like even if it was far away, like somebody would like pause it and zoom in.
Someone would pause it and zoom in if they had nefarious purposes. So let's open this up and see what it is in the bubble wrap packaging. Because this I actually honestly don't remember. Neat. This is Rob Bird. Neat. Themes for Deliciously Decayed.
Oh, does that contain a song that we put on our Obscura Undead compilation?
I can't read on the back because there's no track listing, so I can't tell you. But there's this cool building.
Nice.
I really should just do a series of like as he reviews what they got in the mail.
That's what I do. I just open my packages on stream.
So
which is why they're all like piled up in the corner.
Anyway, let's open the next piece of mail.
Okay. What does it look like?
Because I'm a huge piece of shit. That's okay. We're all pieces of shit. And this is an album that we have already reviewed. There are 2 CDs in here. I didn't show you this one, but in case anyone cares, it's yellow.
Jay Draper! I knew it was Jay Draper! Yay!
Yeah! So one of these is for Mouse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and one of these is for Azzy. Oh, there's actually a note inside. Azzy, thank you so much for your support and and for taking the time to review our music. It means the world to us.
Wow!
Mouse! Same note, but it just says Mouse.
That's all I need. Oh, yeah! Jay, you're the best!
Oh my god, I can't get my fingers off of it.
Oh, Jay and Jay Draper and the Subterraneans. Great album.
This was a great album. You should go watch the review for it if you haven't already. No, this is not going to come back on tonight. I'm going to put this on later. I'm going to listen to these later because tonight I have already committed to re-listen to Voyna.
Relaxing.
Yes. So that is the end of our review. Thank you, Rob Bird, for the CD. I think part of the reason like I'm so confused about it is because I wasn't expecting it. Because I forget shit all the fucking time. And thank you, Jay Draper and the Subterraneans for sending a CD for me and Mouse. I wish I had more mail. I actually kind of like sharing my mail.
I'm going to send you a piece of mail soon.
And I will show that off when you send me mail. I should send you mail so that you can show it off.
You should. You should just send me snacks.
Send me snacks. All right. So, that was Voyna, the Cinvat Bridge. Next week, we're reviewing Kill Shelter and Antipola Haunted Place. Thank you so much for joining us. Like, click, subscribe if you enjoyed this video and are just hot mess every week. We're a lot of fun, I promise. Come check us out on Mondays where we have our listening party this upcoming Monday on, I don't know the date, but it is whatever the Monday after this Wednesday when this video goes up is. We'll be listening to the, will we be listening to the Kill Shelter album? Yes, because it will be released. So we have a listening party, twitch.tv/Obscura Undead Mondays at 8 p.m. EDT, which is UTC -5 right now. Wednesdays, we have a music video, mostly music video night, Twitch, 8 p.m. EDT. And then Fridays, we have our virtual club series, which we intend to run consistently. We might pull back as things open back up and we get busy, but it is still going strong right now. At a year. We're actually at our year anniversary.
Wow.
I mean, yay, but this has been a year.
We've been doing this crap on Twitch for a year.
Yeah. And this week, our guest is DJ Cyberpagan from Germany, who we love. And I think that's about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all of our lovely Patreon supporters, old and new, because we've gotten a few new ones in the last week. Ms. Elizabeth and Lucky Talents, thank you so much. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
This ignorance of consciousness to spare the fire.